Maybe you wandered in here because you saw The Rock and Jason Statham on a poster and thought to yourself, literally, I need nothing more in my life in order to feel true joy and satisfaction than to see whatever this movie is. We get that. But as you're settling in and ordering your food, you may be asking yourself, wait, who are Hobbs and Shaw? Well, here's a quick rundown. Hobbs and Shaw are both supporting characters in the Fast and the Furious franchise. You know, the series that started off as Point Break but Cars and evolved into a delightfully bonkers series of heist movies featuring a surprisingly skillful team of LA street racers whom the government has come to rely on for planet-saving operations.
And that's why I need you.
Well, starting with Fast 5, we meet Luke Hobbs.
Men, we're after professional runners, so make sure you got your underwear on. We find them, and above all else, we don't ever let them get in the cars.
He's big. He's glistening. He makes everyone on his team wear Under Armour, which is really unfair when you have to stand next to someone who looks like him every day. Hobbs is an agent with the Diplomatic Security Service who is tasked with tracking down Vin Diesel's crew.
I don't have friends. I got family.
Even though they were opponents, Hobbs is a man with a code, so after he tracks down Vin Diesel's character, Dominic Toretto, he eventually realizes Dom may be on the wrong side of the law, but I respect his sense of honor and family, as well as the circumference of his biceps. Maybe I love him. Over the course of a couple movies involving fast cars, exploding planes, and sick moves like this,
I never thought I'd trust a criminal.
Hobbs and Dom eventually become full-on allies, which is right around the time we meet Deckard Shaw. Deckard Shaw is one bad dude. He's a former British military officer turned mercenary, and he's feeling real pissy at Dom and his crew.
Family.
Because they defeated his brother Owen Shaw on the world's largest runway in Furious 6. So what does he do in retaliation? He kills Han, a beloved member of Dom's family. Han! Deckard Shaw kills sweet, beautiful, innocent, purely good Han, who just wanted to spend his days Tokyo drifting and grieving the death of his girlfriend. Shaw even tries to take out Dom himself. Not cool. That's about the time that Hobbs and Shaw first meet. Shaw's peeping on Hobbs' browser history, and Hobbs is like, nah, brah. So they fight and punch, and at the end of which, Hobbs falls several stories and breaks his arm. This is, of course, temporary.
Daddy's gotta go to work.
After a big fight involving big guns and big wrenches, Deckard Shaw, the evil dude who killed Han, is captured. And everything is right in the world. Except in Furious 8. Dom goes rogue for baby-related reasons we won't get into, which puts Hobbs on the wrong side of the law. This is where he crosses paths with Deckard Shaw yet again.
I mean, do you really believe you can stand in front of me and beat me in a straight-up old-fashioned fistfight?
I will beat your ass like a Cherokee drum.
But the secret government agent, Mr. Nobody, is like, hey, that big person should work for me. So he opens up Hobbs' prison cell, mayhem ensues, and Hobbs and Shaw get to have their big showdown. Almost. Seeing an opportunity, Mr. Nobody is like, hey, instead of having one bald man track down that other bald man, I could have two bald men track down that other bald man. Hobbs is grumpy about it, so is the rest of Dom's family.
We are not teaming up with this guy.
Let's get one thing clear. I ain't on your team.
That being said, Hobbs discovers that maybe Deckard Shaw isn't all bad. And suddenly, he's looking at him like, you know, Shaw may be on the wrong side of the law, but I respect his valorous military history, as well as his exquisite haircut. Maybe I love him.
Shame I'm gonna have to bounce your head off the fender when this is all over.
When this whole thing is over, we're gonna find a location, and I'm gonna knock your teeth so far down your throat, you're gonna stick a toothbrush right up your ass to brush them.
Even though Shaw killed Han. So Shaw dives in and helps out the crew, including an elaborate scheme to save Dom's baby, aided by his brother Owen and their badass mom, Dame Helen Mirren! So Shaw makes it onto the plane where Dom's baby is being held, and we learn that he's got some mad babysitting skills.
Where's that smile? There it is.
Hobbs helps Dom and his family save the world, and this is where things stand today. Hobbs got his record cleared and Mr. Nobody offered him his job back, but he turned it down.
Daddy's staying home.
Ew. And Shaw delivers Dom's baby. Not like a midwife, he just literally brings him his baby. And Dom's like, "This is great, I'd like to shake your hand. I can't think of any reason why I wouldn't." Now, everyone is sort of friends, and despite all of the ups and downs, all the barbs they've thrown at one another, Hobbs and Shaw see each other in a slightly different light. And that's Hobbs and Shaw for you. Hobbs is a big, beefy lawman with his own code who will break the law if he thinks it's right and will break his caste against his doctor's orders because he can. Deckard Shaw is a bad guy who killed sweet, beautiful, innocent, purely good Han, but don't worry about that because he's sort of a good guy now and he's great with children. So let's find out what's next for these two. Alamo Drafthouse presents Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw!